We here down on earth, we need your help. I want y'all to take a look at this right here. Do y'all see that? That's just $79 for two of these little steaks right here. Y'all, I don't know what we gonna do. Inflation. That's not a damn inflation right there. I don't know what that is. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we here down on earth, we need your help. I want y'all to take a look at this right here. Do y'all see that? That's just $79 for two of these little steaks right here. Y'all, I don't know what we gonna do. Inflation. That's not a damn inflation right there. I don't know what that is.
All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakat Badash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Rakazah, Lord willing, that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab. I'm one back at you with another lesson. The title of this lesson is Hyperinflation coming your way ASAP. Right? And as you can see in the video that I just showed, two little pieces of meat coming out to be $80, man. Right? And it wasn't even, it was a ribeye steak, thin sliced. It wasn't even a real actual ribeye steak. It was a good ribeye steak. You pay about, I want to say around $20, $21, but it's nice and thick and it's big, and you can break it up into pieces, right? Now, two thin ones, you put those together, it makes one, okay? So now you're talking about one $20 steak being cut in half, and now it equals up to $80. That's crazy right there, man. And why is this gonna increase more and more? Because of what's going on with the BRICS nation, right? Because now all these different countries are starting to join the BRICS nation, and going to the yuan and all that. So what happens is that our dollars, all right, now have to equal. You have to have a whole lot of amount to equal just one of their dollars, which is what, $55 of our money to equal $1 of their money. You see? And because everything is transported and it comes from, imports and all that, okay, is going to make the inflation go even higher. So they're paying $80 now, but who knows, maybe 4 months down the line, you might be paying $200. You see? And the same thing is actually happening with the gas right now. Gas prices are starting to go back up. I just seen an article earlier. I think it was in, I believe, was it in Cali or was it in Florida? But they said it was like going back up to $7 up there. I've seen it around here, creeping back up. It's at like $4.29 in certain spots. All right. And it's all because of what's going on with this BRICS nation, all this currency that's being, that is being done away with here in America. That dollar's going to fall, man. All right, but let me grab this precept real quick. A second. So I gotta do this every time. This is Second Ezra's. Let's start 16 and 17, and it says, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine, plague, tribulation, anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right. And this is why a lot of people going to end up dying of the famine, man, because they're not going to be able to keep up and be able to, pay for these goods. All right. Imagine you spending your whole entire rent on just groceries, man. just to get by, and it's still not enough. Okay, so the Lord is bringing famine upon the earth as a plague. All right, and it says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness. Yeah, and you see that now. All these things are happening right in front of their face, and these people still want to continue in their wickedness. All right, it says, nor be away mindful of the scourges. Yeah, they're not taking heed, they're not taking them into consideration, the signs that the Lord is showing is about to come upon the earth. All right, it says, Salaki, it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right. And going into these victuals, you know, going into food, you know, going into, you know, necessities of life. All right. You have to understand, let's look at it this way. Before the pandemic and all that, you know, everything was at a certain price where it was affordable. It was still a little, you know, a little high, but everybody was comfortable at that stage, you see. But all of a sudden, you know, they were thinking themselves to be in good case. And this whole time, evils has been growing upon the earth. All right. The sword, you know, your militaries is starting to, you know, post up where they need to be because of the destruction that's about to come, the martial laws and all that. All right. It says the famine. Yeah, the famine has been accumulating over the years, man. And it started to hit harder. All right. When we hit pandemic, we seen how the stores ran out of food quickly and all that, which all that was a test. It was a test from the government just to see where your minds was at, how much control they had over the people. Now they know. So now the second time around, which they're talking about lockdowns again and masks and all this extra shit, right? It's going to happen again. Okay. And now it's going to be hyperinflation when these people trying to go into the stores and get things, which is going to lead to people rioting, looting. The places that are sown shall be unsown. All right, because these people are going to start running house. They're going to get desperate. Desperate times calls for desperate measures, man. Right? So it says the sword, famine, and great confusion. Yeah, that's been the whole time. Confusion, because this is Babylon the Great. Babylon always got you up and down like a seesaw, wondering what the hell is going on. That's straight confusion. And this is why the Lord said, rest in the scriptures, man, because he's not the author of confusion, man. He's going to give you exactly what you need, the knowledge you need, the knowledge and wisdom. All right. Because that's going to be it's going to be your salvation in that time, having this knowledge and wisdom. Right. The stability of thy times. All right. But it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth. And then again, when the pandemic hit, all right, all this hyperinflation went up for a little bit, and then it kind of went down a little bit. All right. Then you started having shrinkflation and all that. And the prices was decent, and people they got comfortable. They started to think that things was gonna be all right. But every time that those things are happening, man, great evils is growing upon the earth. All right. So it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Exactly. Let's grab Lamentations real quick. Let me make sure I'm still live. Yeah, I'm live still. Let me grab Lamentations. This is Lamentations 4 and 9. And it says, hold on real quick. Yeah. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. All right. So you have you got the scriptures telling you what it's better to be slain with the sword, man. It's going to be better for you to die out here by Esau's sword, all right, than for you to suffer hunger, man. It's better because when you going through hunger, man, your stomach is just breaking down itself, man, and it's eating itself and it's eating through you. All right. And that's the I can't even imagine because I wouldn't want to. All right. But I can picture it. All right. And that's something that you really would not want to go through. The Lord is telling you it's better to die by the sword than to actually go through hunger, because I'm sure the Lord's gonna put a certain spirit on you, man, to feel it. Okay. So it says the hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. Yeah, it's going to be a point in time when cannibalism will come back. All right, just like it tells you in Baruch 2 and 3. All right, a time under the heaven that has never been. All right, you're going to see people eating their sons, their daughters. Why? Because they're not going to have no money. They're not going to be able to survive out here in society. Okay, they're going to try to, there's going to be people that don't want to take this Rice Krispie treat, and they're just gonna rather be, what do you call them? Just straight villains out there, pretty much just straight thugs going from town to town, just trying to take whatever they can. They don't give a shit if they die. Those are gonna be the scavengers, man. All right, but it says the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. I want to go real quick to show you hyperinflation was always around. This was in the time of the great famine in Samaria, 2 Kings 6 and 25. And it says, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it. All right, it was on lockdown. Okay, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. You see, so the famine was so crazy that you had people selling a donkey's head, man, for 80 pieces of silver. Okay, which I believe 80 goes into I want to say 40. Salaki, if it's not. All right, and then the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung, which that's shit. I was waiting for that. Pass by. All right, dove's dung, which is bird shit, man, for 5 pieces of silver. That's how bad it was out there, and that's already showing you some type of hyperinflation, man. Okay. Matter of fact, we might as well just continue to keep going, because this talks about cannibalism right here. And it says, and the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall. Then cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the wine press? And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. We boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she has hid her son. All right. See, showing you that time came in the famine that they had no choice but to what? They started going after their own children. All right. Because why? They didn't have the Lord on their side, man. All right. They didn't have the names of the Lord. All right. They were being wicked as hell. So this is the things that the wicked has to pay for. All right, these are the scourges that are sent for amendment. All right, and these people are not taking it serious of what's going on. That right there should already let you know. Look, people are starting to show you, and there's more videos too. That's just one I came across this morning. Okay, but again, showing you that the cannibalism is coming upon the earth. All right, the hyperinflation. Let's go into Revelations real quick. The hyperinflation also shown in Revelations 6th chapter. And it says, the 5th chapter, and it says, and we had opened the 3rd seal. I mean, Salaka, and when we, so I said we, and when he had opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Okay, which that was going into that slavery. Okay, which we're still in slavery to this day. Are we not into captivity? Are we still not yet in our captivity until this day? Subject onto payments. Okay, it says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. All right, see, that's showing you hyperinflation right there. A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. Okay, and see thou that I hurt not the oil and the wine, which I believe that's going into the elect. Okay, but let's go into real quick Baruch. Actually, you know what? Let me see if there was more in 2nd Ezra real quick. In that 16th chapter. Pretty sure I finished it, but yeah, let me grab this real quick. This is 16 and 34. I'll start from 33. And it says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish in famine. And that's another thing. All right. A lot of it's going to be a crazy ass draft, man. A lot of men going to go to the war, and they're going to die off in the war. They even going to send women out there. You know, women wanted to have equality and all that, so they're going to give you the same treatment. All right, they're going to send women out there, but it says that their husbands shall die in famine. Okay, it says, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Yeah, because all these different gods of this world, all right, are pretty much constantly trying to let you think that everything is okay. And it's not. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the worlds shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Okay, yeah, sorrow shall come upon it from every angle. You see how everything in America is collapsing from different angles, from every aspect you could possibly name, because that's how the Lord's got it set up, that Babylon the Great is going to get it the worst out of all these places, man. All right, and Israel's going to get it. It's going to get it hard too, because that's our homeland out there, man. All right, but it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Yeah, the Lord's going to be right on time with all his plagues. Okay, there's not a delay on any of them. They come upon us when the Lord puts the spirit on them demons to go out there and bring them plagues, man. All right, they appease the wrath of him. Let's grab that real quick. Ecclesiasticus 39. I'll pretty much wrap it up because that's the point. And 28. Let me bring this right here, as a matter of fact. Talking about victuals shall be so good, cheap upon the earth, right? You know, the things that we need, the necessities. But check this. This is 26. I wanted 28, but Spirit jumped on me in 26. And it says, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour, wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. Okay, these are the principal things for the whole use of man's life. All right. Now, going into these scriptures, because it could be double fold, all right, because each and one of those actually represent this truth, all right, because the truth is is a representation of water, all right. This truth is like a fire sometimes, all right. It's like an iron, because iron sharpens iron, okay. It's the salt, all right, the flour, the wheat, the milk, okay. But right here, we're going literally. It's the principal things of man's life. All right. And these are the things that the Lord is pretty much going to take away from the people in that time. All right. When the destruction comes. That's why it tells you right after here, it says, and these things are for good to all these things are for good to the godly. So to the sinner, they are turned into evil. You see, they're turned into bad things for you. Because you're going to be lacking water. You're going to be lacking something to eat. Okay. You're going to be lacking this truth and oil. So it's going to be turned to, that's why the scriptures say that the wisdom can also be your own ruin. You have to take heed of wisdom in the righteous manner, man, and not take, in that wisdom that on the left hand side, because wisdom will just turn against you and it'll be your own ruin. All right. And with this being said, actually, I was just thinking, man, I just had another, give me 1 second. Oh, that's what I was thinking. Bartering. All right. I'll go right back to that. Give me 1 second. I believe it's in, hold on real quick. I'll grab it from here. Damn. 47th chapter, right? In Genesis, because it was talking about the famine that was going on in that time in Egypt, all right? And basically, they were saying that all they had was their bodies and their lands, all right? And what ended up happening, there was bartering going on, okay? Where this is 47, Genesis 47 and 18. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also has our herds of cattle. There is not, you know what, hold on, let me go up a little bit. Give me 1 second. The 17th chapter, the 17th verse, it says, and they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for their horses and for the flocks and for the cattle of the herds and for the asses, and he fed them with bread all their cattle for that year. Yeah, because it's going to be a time where you're going to see a lot of bartering going on, because people ain't going to be able to afford money. Afford the things in the store because they don't have the money. All right, so you're going to see a lot of bartering. It's going to turn into like a big-ass flea market out here, man. People going to be trying to trade off things for different types of goods, all right, things that actually matter and that are worth, all right? But, it showed you that in the time of the famine that was coming upon Egypt in that time, all right? And spiritually, we are Sodom and Egypt. So it's the same thing that's going to happen here, all right? So now let me get back to this Ecclesiastes 39 and 28, and it says, I'll go back to 25. For the good are the good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, In the time of the destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire, hell, and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. You see, all these things are created for vengeance. So that's a certain spirit. All right. When the Lord brings that famine, he bringing his famine demons, man. Them famine death angels. Right, and they can't wait to bring the famine upon the people. So you can imagine what does it say is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. You can only imagine how the Lord, our ways, our thoughts are not his thoughts, man. All right, our ways are not his ways. So we be thinking a certain way of how a person could die off, man, but the Lord got a whole nother way for him to feel it, and it'll be in a crazy sense. All right, because the spirits, they appease the wrath of him that made them. See, they can't wait to go out there and put the wicked down, man. That's what they were created for. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much the point. All right, it wasn't supposed to be that long anyway. All right, let me stop sharing that. Yeah, so again, let me just show that video one more time. Actually, this was coming to America ASAP.
Earth, we need your help. I want y'all to take a look at this right here. Do y'all see that? That's just $79 for 2 of these little steaks right here. Y'all, I don't know what we're going to do. Inflation. That's not a damn inflation right there. I don't know what that is.
And it got 144. Well, it's not really a 1. It's a L for the pounds, but it still look like 144 up on it. Look.
Father God,
right in the middle of it.
God, in the name of Jesus, we here down on earth, we need your help. I want you.
And so barcodes right here. You see these big lines, these big ass lines right here. And you got this big line, and then you got this big line. That represents 666. All these other lines are nothing. But look, you can even see the numbers in here. 666.
Come take a look at this.
Wicked ass society we live in, man. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. But, hey, that's the point. All right. So, hey, Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. So, with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Honors to the elders and apostles, great millstones, be well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Rakazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. Next one, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.